All right, let's get it, everybody. Yes, yes, stop. Big John, come rocking the short shot World Series. It's almost over. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Game 5 tonight. Crip Zombie, BGC, Rich Clark, all the usual suspects. BE, BGC, we really do appreciate you. This could be the last episode. Can you believe it? How much time have we spent together? How much we've shared? Me and you, the Call to the Pen crew. Rate, review, and subscribe because that shit matters more than it should. Way more than it should. What's going on? Yeah, we're going to geek it out today, man, with a single game. You know me. I brought that smoke 115 off the crack of the bat, as always. Man, I had a special guest lined up. I think I botched it. So I'm going to take an L on that one. L for love. I'm going to take my first L for love on that one. I don't hide this stuff. I'm obviously obsessed with my craft. All that stuff, like, clearly, right? There's obviously no question. However, the one thing I'm more into is my family, the kids. When you're me and you measure your wealth and independence, Jay, sound familiar? My best advice to young men and women out there. Forget the car, forget the watch, forget the clothes. That stuff is stupid. That stuff is stupid. 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 Sucker bets, yo. Straight up. Measure your wealth and independence. Earn yourself free time to follow your passions. And spend a little bit of time we have with your friends and family. So I was out actually trick and or treating. I was telling Jay before, man, it is crazy right here. If there's any New York City people, I'm in Marine Park, Brooklyn right now. Honestly, you go look it up. You go Google, best trick-or-treating spots in New York or maybe anywhere. It is just crazy here. The hood shows out. I mean, hundreds of houses participating, thousands of people in the streets. Just absolutely insanity. So let's go get it. Maybe our guest will pop in, but I was prepared anyway. Death, taxes, sun rising in the east, setting in the west, and a big man up before the crack of dawn to bring it his bad boy. Follow me on Twitter, at John Laghezza. Football, baseball data coming at you heavy. Can't believe it. I'm going to get right to work writing next year's, I don't even know what you call it anymore. It was supposed to be fantasy rankings. I don't know if you call it fantasy rankings. Shit was like 150,000 words, but it was done. Really looking forward to it. If you're unfamiliar, I flip that stuff on Sharpener, but I keep it cheap as could be. And really deep diving into a lot of stuff that matters and that you get here. Let's show it off, man. That's my man, Crip Zombie says. Let's geek it out. It's Texas, minus 102. The book doesn't know what to do with it. Nasty Nate Eovaldi on the bump for the Texas Rangers in the desert against those snakes with shapes on their back. And Zach Attack Gallen on the bump. Let's take a look at Nasty Nate first. 5 starts at Tampa, 6 2/3. Gave up 1, 8 Ks versus Baltimore. Went 7, gave up 1, 7 Ks. At Houston, went 6, gave up 3, 9 Ks. Right, he was humming. At Houston, went 6 1/3, gave up 2, 3 Ks. Then he got touched in this one. That was the first time. OPMG, what's going on, me capo? Grab your spear, my man. Then Arizona game 1, right? We had the same matchup. Eovaldi Gallen. He went 4 2/3, gave up 5, but did strike out 8. So that's 30 2/3 in the playoffs. 3.5 ERA, 1.04 WHIP with a 2.7 Sierra, 29% K to 4% walk, 25 KBB is excellent, 48 ground ball, and just under a smidge, 1 homer 9. So really, Eovaldi, the body of work in the postseason has been excellent. We mentioned this. Well, he didn't face Arizona during the regular season. 25 games started, 11 quality starts, 5 money starts, right? 7 innings minimum, 2 earned runs maximum. So 5 out of 25 is a fifth. So 1 out of 5 times, he's going out there moving that needle for you. 1 10 strikeout game. This was about the trajectory of his season, how very good he was to start the year. Eovaldi in those first 19 games had a 2.69 ERA with a 1 flat whip. 16 came at his BB, 1/2 homer 9, hits the IL, comes back up last 6 games. In the regular season, he was downright awful, 9.3, a 9.3 ERA with a 1.9 whip, 8% KBB, and more than 3 home runs per 9, which is why we were jumping on him to start the playoffs. Then he looked really good. And the key was the fastball velocity that he had lost. Eovaldi's fastball was like 95 throughout the season. Dipped as low as 93. in that stint off the IL. Guy's touching 98 in the playoffs. So again, we want to be thinking of him as that better version, right? It's not about small samples. It's about the inputs, right? When you change that kind of input, you have to change the outputs. And not to say ignore the larger body. Yes, we love large sample. Stug, what's going on? Johnny Stug, big Johnny Stug. Man, grab your spear, grab your shield. Remember, this is baseball's version of 300, where we give to the book nothing, take from them everything. Mop the floor with them yesterday. We had a monster one. All the 3 out of the 4 plus money Haney props hit. We hit the Walker prop. We hit the Perdomo prop. We hit the over. That was kind of a smash. Again, really, I was really proud of that. Player prop, what's going on, man? Grab the spear, kiddo. Yeah, you let me know, man. Friday, any Friday is good for me, brother. We matched them yesterday, and the point was doing the analysis, allowing it to guide us, and then leading into the pricing on the board. So we're going to do the same thing again today. So Gallen's got the fastball. I'm sorry, Eovaldi. Again, it was coming in 93, 94. He's touching 98. It was to a 452 X-Lug, 18 whiff. He's got a bit too much ride. But Eovaldi, with more than a foot of horizontal run, which again is very good, is usually going to elevate that whiff rate. Nearly 7 feet of extension also. It's a big part of the Stuff Plus models, remember. 21 extra base hits. The splitter is dope. Really's been carrying him also. 30% use, 306 X-Lug, 36 whiff is ridiculous. The curveball is that tertiary, that third pitch. 13 use, a 230 X-Lug, a 42% whiff rate. That is a straight-up money pitch. I was thinking about running this. I'm going to have to do this either for the Athletic or on my own in that sheet I talk about. I like to track the best pitchers in the league. Because we'll find pitchers will lean on them sometimes. I don't know what it is. Pitchers that have 2 really good secondaries but still throw a fastball that just too much. I'm not sure why. A lot of times we see them throttle that use and then they kind of take off. So that's really exactly what we saw from Eovaldi, except he had the boost of the velo also. So with the inputs, it looked really strong for Eovaldi. He's been really good. Let's take a look at the pitcher props here. Jay, I'm going to spare you ask me to read 1,000 of them. I'll just assume that we're close. All right, so we got 4.5 strikeouts. He went over that 17 of 25 times in the regular season, 4 of 5 times in the playoffs. Jay, I think we want that. And that's at standard money. I got 4.5 strikeouts at minus 110. I know the strikeout stuff wasn't great in the last outing, but after 4 ridiculous starts in a row, we all know this. We're all degenerate baseball bettors. You got to look for some kind of regression. So again, if the velo is good, the movement is good, and he's got the splitter working, yeah, give us over 4.5 strikeouts at minus 105. Absolutely. Even if I think the line is okay. Josh Cooper, man, what's going on? I appreciate always seeing new names in here. Wow, I think we saw him during Forward Progress. Any relation? No relation. Remember Animaniacs? No relation. No relation. Anyway, man, grab your spear, grab your shields. We are defending Sparta here. It ain't Sparta. It's madness when you rock with us, man. Come on. You know how we do it around here. Nuance and context. Point your freaking nose, yo. All right, so let's go over the strikeouts. Then we got 15.5 outs. That was 16 of 25 in the regular season. And 4 of 5 post. Again, that was at standard money. I think we want to get that one also, Jay. To get him to 5 1/3. 5 strikeouts. And especially if we're kind of fading the offense yesterday, right? We had the explosion, 17 runs. I mentioned that we could get to 20. I said that during the show. It was like 10-0 early. We hit the full game over right off the bat. And then we mentioned the struggles with the Texas bullpens. Though, I would say, both teams saved their best pitchers. So though we've had bullpen explosions, it's been that I usually call it the soft underbelly. You know, those middle guys we were looking for some regression for, all regressed hard. Okay, so we're going to go over the Ks, over the outs. Then we got the walks, over 1.5 walks, 16 of 25 in the regular season, only 1 of 5. I guess Eovaldi, you just can't post him at a half. But this one was juiced like minus 130, so I guess we could leave that one alone. Though I like the under, to be completely honest. I think Eovaldi's going to shove. But because we're going over the outs, let's give him the rope for the second walk. Again, right, 2 walks is not bad. And it's something you can compile. We've mentioned this for the year. Being careful going under 1.5 walks. If you have a pitcher that can go 6 to 7 innings. Because you go 7 innings, walk 2 guys, a great outing. So, Jay, I'm going to leave the walks. Let's leave the walks on the table only because we hit the outs. So, those two I don't really think are, which is funny because you think of under walk, over out as being congruent, like correlative as far as performance. Walks are inherent to pitching, especially in high leverage spots, in particular with 2 outs and nobody on. So, we're going to leave the walk stuff to the side. Next up is hits. See, this one I think also, I think Eovaldi's going to be good. But I also think the distance could get us there. That one's 4.5 hits. That one's a little juiced up, -150. Oh, man, I guess this one I like the most. 15 of 25 in the regular season, but all 5 outings in the playoffs. Again, the control's been really good, not walking hitters. But being in there long enough to surrender it. Anyway, it's funny. He actually got tagged from both sides. The first 4 outings, he gave up 5 just via distance. Right, again, if you go 6 or 7 innings, you give up 5 hits, but you didn't walk anybody. They had a dope outing. So it's like, oh man, over hits got rocked, right? I think that's the piece of the tool belt, right, that I want working for us right now. Is not to just be like, oh, all the overs. We were like yesterday was a different example because the books are really afraid of Haney distance, and I think we picked up pretty well on that. So you could probably leave the hits also, though I like it. I don't want to pay the big juice. This line, the earned runs, actually moved. I'm a little bit surprised here. Again, books really buying into this. Last outing we saw against Arizona a few days ago. I'm really surprised that Eovaldi's earned runs are at 2.5. I want to check it again, just make sure it's still up there. Yeah, it's at 2.5. Plus 110. Oh, they juiced the under to -150. Gosh, scumbag books, man. 2.5 runs, only gone over that 12 of 25, but only 1 of 5 in the playoffs, that last one. Nah, I can't pay the juice. But again, I don't think he goes over. I don't think we can pair these. But maybe I pair those two, right? If you go under the walks and under the runs, I kind of correlate those and let it run. I don't want to pay the juice twice. And again, we do a quick lesson here, people, right? Because something that we're always talking about. Something that means a lot. I know myself and Jay and Rob. Win or lose, we're really more into everyone says process. Freaking stupid process. You pull the strings, ask the person about the process. Most of them just going to give you a stupid look with a mouth hanging agape. So what we're talking about is sustainable practices. And if you're going to play with any kind of volume, you need to be thinking in terms of win percentage at least a little bit. And this is the problem with playing lots of bets that are juiced. If you play 2 bets, -150, you got to hit them both at equal risk or you're a loser. So in theory, I've always fallen back on, and I know that much to the chagrin of all the boomer bettors out there that don't care about -150. They'll pay, I'll pay a -4,000 if I think the math is there. But I think you're an idiot. Because I think if you lose that one, you just wiped out like 8 years of work. Okay, forget the profits, which is also a big part of it. So that's a little bit about me, because I know there are people that will just lay out these huge tickets of -150, -150, -160, -160. And then the thing they will tweet afterwards is they went 7-3. What they're not going to tell you is they lost. Or it was flat. Because that's what that's what the juice does. So for me, as far as from an execution standpoint, rather than pay -155 twice and have to pay basically 3 units of that 2, right, to -150, I'd rather pair them together. Look for better than plus money. Bet half a unit. Cut my risk down by 85%. While I still need the same 2 wins, and it's much easier to stomach if you lose it. So, just a little bit about me as we pull the curtain. What might be the last show? Tear, sniffle tear. Can't believe it, man. Really, God. I can't believe it. I could start crying. Really means the world to me, and Jay as well. I've got to be. I really feel like you could put us up against like the network shows, but even if we're realistic, we just put up against the shit gods of garbage on the internet. Me and Jay just outworking everybody. Jay, hat tip to you. Brilliant young man. Make sure you follow my man. Jay Coop, his show, Forward Progress, part of the Hammer Betting Network today. Jay, while we're advertising, this show is brought to you by betstamp.com/Colton Penn. Remember, people, we've shown you different prices, but Jay's a lot better at explaining why it matters.
Yeah, John, I got you here. We find the easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is to always use multiple sports books and always get the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to always get the best odds. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time, save money. Download the app today. And if you're looking to sign up for more sports books, make sure you head over to betstamp.app/call to the pen. If you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. Now back to John.
My man Jay, excellent job as always. William Craig, what's going on? The Failings will be here in the spring. Gosh, we hope. Imagine well, I don't want to be arrogant, and we want to be here with Rob and the Hammer Better Network, right? They believed in us. But man, imagine if this show got yoked. Imagine, I'd be shocked. I'd be straight up shocked. We're going to talk about stupid looking faces with mouths hanging agape. Huh? Oh, my God, I'd be shocked. I really do feel like we've built something very special here this year. Remember, we started this channel from zero. It is really, really hard. I was looking at statistics about this, Jay. Like, how many channels that start ever get to 100 subs or 200 subs or 500 subs? I don't know. Sometimes I kick myself. You see 100 views on a show, and you're like, man, although we do have the podcast also, 100 views. Oh, very difficult to get there. You're actually like in like the upper echelon of, percentile view because the marketplace is so vast. So the fact that we eclipsed not only just 1,000, I think we had over 1,100 subs. Again, from zero, really just two-man banding and beating the drums and everything. So let's get into the other side of it. That was nice. We laid out a little bit of a ticket. Maybe I'm kind of finding my groove with this single game stuff. One thing I mentioned yesterday, again, another really good lesson. I like to verbalize these things because I'm hoping to remember them all. I have to keep a running whiteboard. Was the Perdomo prop that we hit yesterday is a objective blind spot that I have. For all the betting and handicapping and stuff that we do, it's very hard to track everything by yourself. Again, it's why I try to be an open door, and I appreciate people like Will and like Josh and like Justin, Stug, Mike K, BJC, and everybody that just participates in Sightfire Sports, Maddie, Dub, Frankie, all the people, right? The chefs here, eating at the restaurant. That's how you know the food is good. When people that make food eat your food, you're doing something right. That's why I believe in this so much. I continue to feed my time and momentum into this. Those hitter props, when you find them at a half, and they're at, I call it, viable pricing, standard pricing, let's call it minus 125 or better, you really have to think about that. Those are really great lines. You got a really good shot, especially if it's a good hitter. Perdomo has been really good. He's in a good spot. And we got, and that's something I don't always look for on my own. The model and the totals, all the work I'm doing every day. We handicap 5,000 plus games this season. But I have learned that and one other one, Jay, that strikeout ladders, shame on us, Coop, because we've identified quite a few strikeout overs, right? With those daily K leaders. If you're with the show, FanDuel had daily strikeout leaders. We mashed those for a little while. But then you kind of realize, wait a minute. Pitchers that we like that could win from the back end of the board, meaning the best odds, tend to have lower totals, meaning a 4.5 strikeout prop. So our ladder, the third rung up the ladder, is 7. We could have been hitting and pairing these low strikeout props. That's the other one I wanted to get to, was mentioned single base hit props that are viable, and then looking for low K ladders. In fact, Coop said daily K leader, best ride of the baseball season so far. Agreed. I really like the team run leader also because I modeled that stuff. Like, it almost didn't feel fair. It almost felt like I hate saying this, but I felt like shooting fish in a barrel a little bit. We were just all over it. We just had it every day. We just had it every day. Again, I put a lot of work into this stuff and a lot of faith into it. I back test it, and then a lot of really smart people use it and are, not saying looking to disprove it, but they want to make sure it's valid. And if you notice that, go check my timeline. People don't really come for my throat. Why? Because I don't take too strong of claims, because we just try and do good work and have that lead us into the best probabilistic scenario. I can't guarantee we're going to win. But that's why I'm so stringent with risk management. Boom, feathers, sticking in your cap. The stuff that matters. No one cares about the Game 5 breakdown 3 days from now. But one of those lessons we just dropped, you might say, damn, I literally just learned something that now I can't. You must unlearn what you have learned. Like, you can't unsee this stuff, right? We're like red pilling people in real time in the betting streets as they legalize this stuff in the States. And a lot of people are getting in trouble, getting worse at this as they chase and fail. We are improving a little bit every day. Improve every day from April. You look back in October and go, I know Kung Fu. All right, enough bad movie references. Let's get into the other side. This show rocks, right? Notice, I didn't even mention the Arizona offense. We keep doing it. It's so boring. But they were bad against righties in the second half. That's 2,500 plate appearances. Bottom 10 in BA, OPS, WOBA, and WRC+. Bottom 5 in slugging, ISO. Bottom 3 in homers. However, in game 1, I did pop the hood. Like I tell you, man, I worked my arse off for this. So in game 1, there were 6 balls hit off of Eovaldi, more than 100 miles an hour. Marte hit 2 of them. 3 balls were hit more than 105 miles an hour. Carroll hit 2 of those. Jay, what's the Carroll hit run ribby stuff look like? I mean, I like Eovaldi. Obviously, we were talking about that, but Carroll's just been he's just been unconscious. Batting .260 against righties, but he's got a .410 OBP, .550 slug, .960 OPS. Pretty damn good. 2 homers, a double, a triple, 3 steals, 17 total bases for Corbin Carroll. So the hit run ribbies is juiced. How about the total bases? Again, this has been my beef with betting the playoffs in the first place. The pricing does not reflect the rarity, right? We can get these prices in a pirate game that nobody cares about. Now, the whole focus of the world is on it. Nah, I'm not doing it. But I do, again, if you're into the hit prop stuff we were talking about yesterday was the day. I don't know if today is the day. But if you're playing like Jock Market, I know some people are into that stuff where you're looking for the top producer or some showdown stuff or whatever, and daily. I think Carroll's got to be a part of it. We're not really inventing anything there. Okay, let's go other side. Zach Gallen, 1 through 5 starts as well in the postseason. At Milwaukee, went 6, gave up 2, struck out 4. Versus the Dodgers, 5 1/3, gave up 2, struck out 4. At Philly, went 5, gave up 5, struck out 4. He was struggling. At Philly, versus Philly. Sorry, fourth one, versus Philly. It was at Philly, then versus Philly. Went 6, gave up 4, struck out 1. Again, not a great start. At Texas, game 1, went 5, gave up 3, struck out 5. It's been kind of a rough go. 27 1/3. He's got a 5.27 ERA with a 1.5 whip. That's Gallen with a 5.25 Sierra. 15% K to 11% WAR. Keep that number in mind. 4% K minus BB. Not what you expect from a guy that was getting Cy Young votes. Okay, I had Boy Sporer in the chair yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't know where I am. Maybe Monday. I don't know where I am. And we would talk about that, how the push and pull, right? The inevitable battle between postseason and regular season. Gallen in a vacuum is freaking awesome. Is he tired? The velo is good. So, if you're going to go the hurt, retired thing, I generally like to see that reflected in pitch diagnostics, which has not shown up. Right? Gallen stuff was fine. In fact, I'm looking at game 1 right now. His fastball is actually up a mile an hour from the regular season. Maybe it's a between the ears thing. I mean, I don't want to be too subjective. I like Zach Gallen. I think he's a boss. I think he's a horse. But again, I don't know the answer to this, right? We know we have this pitcher that has a downright, here I have it right here, hold on, I have it. Like a ridiculous season. He just put on a ridiculous season. 210 innings, a 3.47 ERA with a 1.12 whip. Sierra at 3.6, 20.5 K minus BB, 29 CSW, 66 first strike. A lot of the stuff that we like. I guess he had some hard hit balls, but we've talked about contact quality, how we don't overreact because he kept the home run per 9 down below 1. His expected WOBA at 309, again, which is excellent. He's much better at home than on the road. So, right, I mean, we're in the desert. On the season, 230 batting average allowed at the crib, 602 OPS, it's 247 ERA, .6 homer 9. You know, this is a Cy Young caliber pitcher in a strong split. And it's hard for me to kind of fade this guy. You know, again, I tend to go, it's not so much just larger sample as the strength of the larger sample and the quality of the guy we're talking about, plus the strength of the split. So as I look at it, I'm really kind of buying Gallen, believe it or not. All right, 34 games started on the season, 20 quality starts, 9 money starts, right? 9 out of 34, right? 9 times 4, 36, so a little bit, right about a quarter. It's pretty damn good, man. 7 innings minimum, 2 earned runs maximum, with 5 10 strikeout games. He faced Texas twice in a regular season. Funny because, oh no, actually, I guess this makes a lot of sense. And this, back up half a second. Faced Texas twice in a regular season, validating the split stuff. I had it in my head and I couldn't spit it out. So at Texas, earlier on in the season, when 5 gave up 3, struck out 6, walked none. Good, but not great. Very much in line with the start he just had, right? He just went 5, gave up 3, struck out 5. Almost identical starts at Texas. However, here it comes. Today's butt, the big shaking butt, the Birdman, juvenile, tattooed face and fingers, like that butt, like the garden hose, and the soapy water with cars on hydraulics. That butt. Versus Texas later on in the season, went 6, gave up 1, struck out 11, walked 1. Money. Now, I know we didn't get the 7th inning, but man, 11 Ks to 1. Shoved them around. The fastball is good, but not great. 37 use, 450 X-slug, 18 whiff. Again, another pitcher with more than a foot of horizontal run you're always going to keep that whiff rate 18 to 20 at minimum because of that run. 6.6 extension is pretty good. Where Gallen butters his bread is using the fastball to mirror the curve. Right? What that means is the observed spin is the opposite on the clock face. He's also good. The release points are close, but the curve just drops off the table. 23 use, 360 X-slug, 41 whiff on the curve. That's a money pitch, man. And then the changeup, the tertiary, 14, 376 and 31, 376 X-slug, 31 whiff again. Very, very good. So Gallen's got 2 ridiculous off-speed pitches to help kind of float the fastball. That is good, but not great. Fastball came in 38 use in the last game, which is pretty much in line. Yeah, I said 37. So again, very consistent. If I'm Gallen, I'm just bringing it down to dirt. Like, you can't believe, remember, there's only so many pitches. So if you just turn the dials a little bit, it's real nipless. Meep. You can make a big difference. Again, you gotta side with him. We don't know who's calling the game, if it's getting called to the bench, if he's calling himself, what he's comfortable with. That we don't know. And those are the pieces of frog DNA, right, from Jurassic Park, the fill-in spots, that we have to figure out. We have to, infer at. We're hoping not to guess. We're trying to use data-backed information to make, good guesses, at least. But my guess is you're going to get what you saw. But again, strongest split. He faced Texas at home, back against the wall. Stokes out Eovaldi and Gallen outs plus strikeout parlay. Yeah, why not both? I mean, especially the outs. That's why I think I'm leaning. Is in particular the outs. Oh, let's take a look at the Gallen props now. Gallen's at 4.5 strikeouts as well. 25 of 34 in the regular season. Only 1 of 5. That's been kind of rough. 15.5 outs. This is the one I think we want, Jay. Out prop again for Gallen. And this is plus money also. So for Gallen to go 5 1/3 is plus money. I mean, it's just, again, the books are a little too focused on the postseason numbers for me. Gallen, 15.5 outs in 28 of 34 starts in the regular season. That's 4 out of 5, 80%. And then 3 out of 5 in the playoffs. He didn't get it in the last one. Again, I just think I think he gets it. I'm actually looking, and I wish I had brought this up, in the 2 home playoff starts. He has gone over. Again, right, the playoff starts, 5 1/3 gave up 2 against the Dodgers. Went 6 gave up 4, got hit in the way out the door, the Phillies. But he has gotten distance at home. So he hasn't really gotten, for all the bad pitching performances we've seen, he's still been pretty good at home. So let's go over the 15.5 outs of plus money. I love that one. Although, you know what? Let me back myself up just a second to Stug's question. I assumed it was going to be juiced. Stug, I would not parlay it if it's plus money. Play it straight. And then if you want to play for like to clear the board for a really low total, then that's a different story. You know, play for a progressive payout, that's fine. We play to win the game. We play as if we're correct, that's fine. But I don't think I'd be parlaying plus money stuff. If it's plus 110, I just didn't think it was going to be that nice of a number. I want that on its own. The walk number is at 2.5. He only walked 3 batters, 5 of 34 games, 1 of 7. Then did it 2 of 5 so far. Man, I'm kind of looking at the under, but that one's got to be juiced. That one's at minus 200, so like, no thanks. Nah, I'm not going there. The walk prop's a little too juiced up for me. But I don't think he walks 3 batters. But that I don't think we got there. The hit prop is at 4.5. He's on over 23 of 34. He's on over 4 of 5. This one I think we want also, Jay, because I like the way it plays in both directions. That number moved. I got to pump the brakes. I'm sorry, everybody. That was 4.5 when I started. It moved to 5.5. I don't want 5.5. I wanted 4.5. So I'm going to fade that one also. That one, if you could move it or find an all, that's a parlay piece. I like the 4.5 because I thought it played into both sides, meaning he gets run out of the building, he gives up 5 hits. He goes the 7 innings we want, we think he might go, and he gives up 5 hits. Right? Again, scattering. Because we're low on walks and high on innings. You really got to be thinking in terms of the over on hits is not like the downside bet, which is strange. There's almost a world where the under is the downside bet. Comes out, walks 2 guys, gives up a double and a home run, and you're just not in there long enough to get it done. So when it comes to the hit stuff, I'm more of a looking and thinking about it in terms of distance. And the last one, also the earned runs jumped up to 2.5, where and they moved the under. The book is expecting Gallen to get beat. Over 2.5 runs is set at minus 150. Okay, we got to go under on the plus money, my man. We just got to. We have to. We gotta suck it up. We gotta suck it up. I know he's gone over each of the last 3 and one of the 2 games at home, but I'm going to kind of fade the market on this one. We're going to fade the CLV and that move and go under the 3 runs, which I think also brings me to Jason. Would you bring up the F5 under? I didn't see this one. Last time I opened my big mouth and thought it was asking if it might be 4.5 or 4. It was at 5. So we do have a 4.5. I think we want to go under. And it's around even money. Yeah, it's around even money. Minus 105, minus 110. I'm into that. So I think because that kind of leans into the play we're going, we want to get away from the bullpens. Even though I did mention the strong suit of each bullpen has been rested, those guys are still only 1 or 2 inning guys. So that's not a 5-inning deal. If we get what we're expecting from Gallen and we get what we're expecting from Eovaldi, some regression in the right direction, positive regression plus a bit of a fade off the offense from yesterday, which I'm not too crazy on, but we do know there's an up and down kind of ebb and flow element to baseball. So, yeah, I like the under also. And I guess that'll do it, everybody. Nice. Jay, would you bring up our bets for today? Thank you, everybody, for picking up what we're putting down. To the audio-only listeners, we do appreciate you could jump over to the video. Jay gave us a little scuttle of our plays, and that could be it. Could be the final episode of Call to the Pen HQ if the Rangers manage to hang the banner tonight from Rob Pizzola, from Jason Cooper, from John Laghezza, and all of the women and men at the Hammer Betting Network, Call to the Pen HQ, Forward Progress HQ, and just everyone involved in this thing of ours, in our version of betting Sparta. Thank you. Really, thank you so much. spending your time with us, picking up what we're putting down. It's not just a phrase, right? If you're digging in, because you can't fake this kind of funk. I've always been that kind of person. People really either love it, can't get enough of it, or absolutely hate it. And that used to bother me. And I used to try and dumb it down to appeal to more people. And now lately I've said, F it. We're going to get there on our merits. We're going to get there being the smartest, being the sharpest, punching up, challenging the norms, bucking the trends, working our effing A off non-stop, right? It's how I made my bones, and it's how we're going to make it all the way. And if not, then it ain't going to happen. But if you're rolling with us, then you're one of those people willing to get better, willing to be challenged. I know some of this is difficult. We use a lot of numbers. We create our own metrics. This is not for your average bear. This show is not for the normal person. This is for the people that intend to improve, right? And that's our very last lesson, maybe, and maybe the most important one. Outside of managing your risk, that's number one. You want to survive in the betting world every day, manage your risk, determine a daily allotted risk, 1%, 1.5%, 2%, and then go nuts. Bet whatever the hell you want, as long as that's the maximum. And as you grow your account, so will that 2%. But as your account shrinks, so will that 2%. And if you're looking at your totals and going, how the hell am I supposed to make money betting 1% of this? You don't have enough. Capitalization is a real thing. Do you think you can open a store in a strip mall with $100? You're gravely mistaken. But if you take that idea and push it forward, and you think about, wow, between rent and bills and leasing and materials, I got to buy cash registers, a security system, I got to keep the lights on, I need employees. Well, when you're a sports bettor, you don't have those things. But you do, because you need the cash. That is the overhead. The capitalization is the overhead. And once you capitalize and separate it from your life, meaning you're not going in your wallet to fund, you will find an ease and kind of get your answer. So number one is risk management. Number two is combine, right? Bet free money before you bet with real money. If you could show a profit in 30 days, you bet real money. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then the very last thing, the most important one, surround yourself with positive people. People that work hard, people that want to see you do well, people that are happy for you when you succeed. Way too many people in this life are negative, are stupid, they suck, they're selfish, and jealous. And whether or not they notice it, may even passive-aggressively try and bring you down. And don't chill with losers. And it doesn't mean rich. Like I said, I ain't got flashy stuff. I don't rock flash. Not my stuff. I'd rather be sitting on my money in my wallet. I'd rather be investing my money in markets than, my car has a loud engine, or I have a watch that's depreciating. Right, I drive a car that's depreciating, wearing a watch that's depreciating, with clothes that now smell like my balls. Give me cash. Let's be in things that are arrow pointing up, right? Trajectory pointing up, wheels up. Let's go get it, everybody. So if the Rangers do it, hang the banner. That will do it from us. Sign off. We appreciate your rate, review, and subscribe. Stuff matters more than it should. Hit us up on Twitter. Let me know if you enjoyed the show, man. Seriously, I really want to hear from you. If you haven't done it yet, I do want to hear it. I will take the time to, answer back, because again, this means the world to me, and I ain't gonna have nothing to do for the next few mornings, if indeed the Rangers win it. So for all of us, I've ranted more than enough. Enjoy the games, enjoy the day, and when you're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, when you work this hard, there's a lot. Could be after 2023, man. Peace.